Hi, hello there friends, Skyrionn here. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, and if you're new, then welcome. Today, we're going to a galaxy far, far away to look at 10 interesting facts in Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. In this game, you travel around the known universe looking for Jedi Masters that have gone into hiding. While doing this, a deeper plot emerges. So grab yourself a quick drink, and we'll get started. Number 1. The actual canon version of the protagonist of the game is actually a female named Meetra Surik. As the player had the ability to customize the character with gender and different looks, the actual name and gender was taken away from the game. In the 2012 novel, The Old Republic: Revan, it fills in the timeline between the Knights of the Old Republic and the Sith Lords. It also explains the character of Surik and shows that the light side ending was the actual ending in the Star Wars universe canon. The ghost of Meetra Surik can be encountered on Star Wars: The Old Republic at around level 33 if the player enters the Taral 5 flashpoint. This flashpoint focuses on Jedi Master Revan, so it makes sense that she's there too. Number 2. In the original demo release of the Sith Lords, Telos was very similar to the actual opening location of the Paragus mining facility. The protagonist was trapped in a mining tunnel under the surface of Telos and was being aided by a miner named Mira. The ability of choice was shown in the form of if the player picked the dark side by killing the miner that had helped them, or kept them alive, which was the light path option. This whole scenario clearly was not in the full version of the game. Speaking of Telos, the entertainment module 81 was meant to be much larger, but was cut due to time restraints. Although Knights of the Old Republic 2 have many locations to travel, Telos 4 was my favourite. Number 3. The Sith Lords isn't a massively speedrun game, but I thought I would throw this in there anyway. The fastest time that the main story has been completed in is 1 hour, 18 minutes and 15 seconds, with loads included. I haven't played the game in around a year, but I definitely felt that completing the Paragus mining facility took hours. Number 4. Encountering Dark Nihilus on the Ravager was originally meant to be a lot more threatening. When Visas and the protagonist reach him, Nihilus was meant to use the Force to suspend them in the air. He would then drop the exile to the ground while throwing Visas across the room after she confesses her betrayal to him. The player would then have had the ability to lie and accept Nihilus's offer of becoming his new apprentice, in which Visas would catch on to the lie and attack Nihilus while he was distracted. Or the protagonist could willingly choose to become the apprentice, in which Visas would announce that she has always been a student of Kreia, and attack the protagonist, which ends in her death. In a multimedia patch that was released for the game on September 20th, 2005, a clip was added to the game files. The clip still wasn't used at all in the game, but it showed an unused story path in which the Ravager crashes into the Citadel station. If that would have been kept in, it would have been awesome. Number 5. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic 3 was actually pretty far into the planning phase before it was cancelled. The designer, John Stafford, said, "We wrote a story, designed most of the environments, worlds, and many of the quests, characters and items." Sadly, LucasArts hit a difficult period and the game had to be cut. The only thing announced about the game is that there was a female character called Narisha. There's still a tad of hope. Maybe it'll be thought of again. Number 6. It's indicated that there was meant to be an additional area of gameplay on Telos. A factory that produces the HK-50 series assassin droids is located underneath the Telosian military base that the player visits during the game. During the Telosian restoration project, this factory is discovered, and it's a high possibility that the player would have gone there with HK-47. Imagine going to a location with a ton of assassin droids. I probably would have struggled with that. With the majority of the cut content, a team has completed the work that Obsidian Entertainment didn't finish and recreated the droid factory. There's a link below to the mod. Number 7. Atton Rand was meant to be the main character in the game Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, but was cut from it. If the player completes the Sith Lords twice, on the third playthrough, when meeting Atton in his cell, he will break the fourth wall and reveal this information. Number 8. An alternative mission for the game's ending would have had the Exile's companions confront Kreia on Malachor 5. In this version, Darth Sion and Kreia have joined forces again. Kreia defeats all of the companions and they are taken into captivity under Darth Sion. Atton escapes and Sion pursues him through the halls of the Atreus Academy. The player then has the ability to play as Atton and fight Sion. If Atton is defeated, Sion cuts off his arm and leaves him for death, in which Atton will get back up, berates Sion and is tortured. Other scenes of Sion were also cut from the game. One of them shows him having a disagreement with Darth Nihilus on the Ravager, which results in them almost fighting, and one on Korriban in which the player finds Lona Vash alive instead of the story that we did get, where she is found dead in a cage after being tortured by Darth Sion. In this version, Vash and the Exile are ambushed by Sion at the Sith Academy, in which Vash locks herself in a room with Sion so that the Exile can get away safely. Number 9. Chris Avalon, a designer of the Sith Lords, said that he wanted the player to have the ability to turn Han into a Dark Jedi type character. This idea was rejected by George Lucas as he didn't want any more Jedi Wookiees to be introduced into the universe. Number 10. M478 was to be another planet that the player could have explored. This was dubbed the Droid Planet. The explorable part of the planet was divided up into 7 different areas. These were the landing arm, where the Ebon Hawk landed, the Central Zone, which was originally flooded with radiation and would lead to the other areas, the Environmental Zone, which was also flooded with radiation, the Industry Control Zone, the Archon Behaviour Core, Archon 2 Behaviour Core, and the Main Behaviour Core. This planet was removed from the game for 2 main reasons. The main one being that Obsidian Entertainment was being pushed by LucasArts to have the game completed by Christmas, which resulted in 30% of the game's content being removed because they didn't have enough time to complete the workload. The other reason is that the plot for the planet was nearly identical to the Paragus mining facility section of the game. Quests and elements from this planet were then distributed to other planets on the game, so they weren't scrapped completely. One being the shuttle docking puzzle on Nar Shaddaa, which was originally on M478. Okay, so that was 10 interesting Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords facts. Did I miss anything? What was your favourite fact? If you liked this episode, then hit that like button, and if you really liked this episode, then hit that subscribe button for more content every Sunday. Now, enjoy your day.